quick video update. I added a third coil, elevated it to a very high level. Seems to help the system. Right now the system is not in self-sustaining mode, and we dropped to 13.1 volts in high power mode. So, and here's my raw output. When I take it out of self-sustaining mode sometimes to try and increase the output of the system. So as you see, we have real power here. This is all the power from the combined receivers. 3.20 amps. We have an output of 3.20 amps. Basically, all three receivers have their outputs combined. And I have another special bridge rectifier circuit going to a ground connection with its DC output combined. And that's getting us a combination of 3.2 amps. All that combined rectifier circuitry gets us 3.2 amps. And we are inputting to the transmitter 0.39 amps at 65 volts, 25.42 watts. So we've got 3.2 amps on the output with a voltage of 40 volts, and that's DC, pure rectified DC. So if you do 3.2 amps times 40 volts DC, that is our output wattage. So here's how bright it gets when you hook up a bulb to it. It gets so bright it'll hurt your eyes. So here's a little 10-watt bulb, incandescent. This is the output of the combined receiver coils. Like, oh my god, that hurts my eyes. And as you see, we don't draw any more power when the load is connected. The load being run does not affect the transmitter's input whatsoever. So that's me messing with the combined output of the three separate receiver coils. I'm taking the energy from the receiver coils, converting it to DC, and combining all the DC. And I have a fourth additional circuit, which is just a rectifier, full bridge rectifier out of Scotty diodes, connected to the earth ground and the negative of the supercap. And that as well gives a power output. So there's that. So that's lit fully. I will now connect this wire back up, which puts the system in self-sustaining mode. Oops, if I can get a good contact, because it's so much connections over here. Okay, we made contact. Bulb got dimmer because the system is trying to self-sustain itself. I'll disconnect this load, and now the system will fully self-sustain itself again and begin to recharge. So, as you see, we are fully recharging 13.2 again. I will turn this heavy, what is this, 200 watt heat light on. I'll run it for a bit, and we'll watch the system recharge itself. So that's lit. I'll also connect my meter in voltage up to the super caps so we can watch it recharge. So basically, to sum it up, what's going on here is the transmitter is powered up by the supercaps. That supercap bank is in parallel with this supercap bank. The transmitter, the supercaps power up this DC boost board, which is 0 to 120 volt DC. I can adjust the voltage and current, and that powers up the transmitter, and then the transmitter energizes 3 receiver coils, The transmitter sits in the center there. The receivers are one there, and this taller one, which is an additional one. So we have 3 receivers, plus our rectified ground circuit. So we have 4 separate wireless circuits here, all being converted to DC with their outputs combined. So that gave us 3 amps at 40 volts, I think, last we checked it. And anyway, what occurs is the system recharges itself and keeps itself self-sustaining through a highly efficient solar charge controller. And as you see, this very heavy load brings the system down a bit. If I were to leave this connected for too long, it would run itself down and never recharge. So I still didn't build in that timer circuit yet. On the AC side, I've been very busy. Car issues, family health issues, working over 40 hours a week, mad work, putting a lot of money in my car to fix it, so that's where I've been the past few days. Life is basically just hitting me with sucker punch after sucker punch, but you just keep rolling on, ever onward, stronger, right? So, playing with the system again, made a few more discoveries, and I will shut this load off, and we will watch the system rapidly recharge itself. I just don't like how these wires are in the way, so we will watch it recharge itself. We'll say 13.1 very soon, and then 13.2. As you see, there we are. So that recharges. Give you a full walk around tour of everything. Here's our voltage on the meter, climbing. Input on the DC board that controls everything. So I figured I'd upload that video. Still show that we have all the impressive wireless effects with the system, all the radiant energy present. Still very impressive. So the system is in a complete state of self-sustainability. Wireless power is phenomenal. The coils also act as a relay for the power. The radiant energy is also still present in odd components. So, figured I'd share that. As you see, the system basically just recharges itself. And that will say 13.2 soon. And in theory, there's no limit to the amount we can refine this. The supercaps acts as a tank of storage for the power, and it basically recharges itself, and then you power up an inverter and run big loads for a short time, and then after maybe anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, you shut the heavy load off, and the system will recharge itself. You run your heavy load again, and you switch it off. I got to build in some kind of sensor or timer circuit that when the voltage gets low enough, it shuts itself off, and then it recharges. I'll probably say 13.07 soon. And I'm pushing the system very heavy. Something else to keep in mind is when you got the transmitter on in high power mode, there will be a voltage drop in the system to a degree, but it will keep itself self-sustaining. So, to sum it up, transmitter is in the center with the gold ball. All the other coils around it are wireless receiver coils, plus the addition of our grounded rectifier circuit, and it's just a wire that goes to ground, to the ground outlet, or to the ground plug on your power outlet. Needs an earth connection, so that's where the additional power comes from. We have the combined DC output of all the receivers plus the ground rectifier, which gives us 3 amps at 40 volts. And basically we're just taking a voltage reading here now on the supercap bank. We're watching it recharge. So that's that. System completely runs itself in 3 different power modes: low, medium, and high. High power is about anywhere from 25 to 40 watts. I don't like pushing it that hard because things get hot, but it can handle it ultimately. It's still climbing, so kind of tempted to push it a little bit harder and see what happens. It's probably as hard as I want to push it. 70 volts, 30 watts. This thing will probably really scream. Yeah, so it's doing all that. And keep in mind, there's no limit to this. I can keep scaling it up as much as I want. So, again, didn't post for a while. Been mad busy with multiple things, working a shit ton. Car's been breaking down left and right, trying to fix it, repair it. That's been extremely time consuming. Just taking the car apart and getting access to what needs to be fixed is so time consuming. And then scheduling that while trying to get around working a shit ton, it's just been chaos. And then to add it all up, multiple family members have been very sick lately. Elderly ones, grandparents, and aunts. So that's been fun. But anyway, we're back in business, I think. So we're in high power mode. It's even 145 watts on the output. Like this is heating this whole corner of my room. It's important to note when this is running, we still maintain the phenomenal radiant energy effects. This is almost like a video diary series. So I also don't want to get in trouble, so I probably won't ever sell these boards as complete units, but I will list how to build them fully in detail on the PDF. But I'm literally not going to sell this board as a working unit because I don't want to get in trouble by certain companies. But I will sell you the instruction manual on how to do it for like 15 bucks. So that's my gift to everyone. This system separates cause from effect. It's self-sustaining wireless power. Gets a boost in power from a rectified ground connection and your combined outputs of the receiver coils, the DC. And I will now shut this load off and we'll watch the system recharge. And again, there can't be a VI curve here because these are super caps. They don't have a VI curve like a battery. So as you can see, it will recharge even in the high power mode setting. And there we go. And that says 13.1 already. Basically, the combined output from all the receiver coils and that ground rectifier circuit goes through the solar charge controller. From the solar charge controller, it goes then through a DC to DC isolator, and then from that back into the system. A very important part is to get the self-recharging effect, you need the DC to DC isolator. I don't know why, but the input electrical system needs to be isolated and separated from the part of the electrical system that recharges itself. I don't know why that is, but you need it. So I figured I'd just explain that. And yeah, we're in high power mode. You're seeing it recharge itself. Cool stuff. And I'm going to try and keep this video under 20 minutes. More like a video diary series of how the system runs and recharges itself. Very fun. Very cool system. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. All the support of you guys. ChatGPT helped a lot in certain areas of designing this. You guys all helped tremendously. And even more improved wireless power kits and versions of this system are coming soon. So again, I have a Patreon link in the description. Feel free to join it if you want to support the work. This is real wireless power work using Tesla coils as generators for self-sustainable electrical systems the way they were intended, not to make big stupid sparks. We literally have a system that can keep itself going until a component fails, very long duration power. And for people who say, is it a perpetual motion machine? Well, no, there's no moving parts. It's solid state. We're already as efficient as it can get. There's no moving parts except the fluctuating magnetic field. And again, EM fields are considered metaphysical. They have no physical dimension. They exist in the dimension of counter space. So you could claim it's a metaphysical technology. And then I'll probably say 13.2 soon. So we are charging. And again, thank you to everyone. And yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. If I lower this a bit, back down to 60. Yeah, there we go. So I was pushing it a little hard. It'll recharge. It'll enter like a type of sweet spot zone where it recharges back up to 13.2. So I figured I'd talk about that, demonstrate that. And yeah, thank you, everybody. And again, quick room tour demonstrating the radiant energy before I let you guys go. It's even present in this receiver coil. So, as you can see, it's this extra coil that does a lot of the work. So, take care, everybody.